Okay, so I'm up. I can't sleep. I'm getting so much stuff wrapped up. I'm kind of like I was when I was a kid, man. I was like obsessed about music, and I'm obsessed about music. So we're gonna kind of wrap up this mix. This is that when seven was six. When seven was six, and so I sent the mix after I'd done the video, and I listened to the mix. And I was like, okay, it's cool. Felt like the kick maybe was heavy. And I sent it to my friend, and he's like, yeah, maybe the kick's heavy. And then also just overall drums. And there was just a few other little things that were bugging me, like little kind of tweaky things. And then I got a comment tonight from Yeti Elusive. That's a kick-ass name, right? And he said he closed his eyes and listened to the tune with AirPods. But for me, it felt like the kick drum is too loud, and it was drowning out the guitars. So... And I commented back. I was like, "Yeah, we're kind of right there too." It's I jumped the gun. It's so hard to not jump the gun. I've gotten good with clients. I don't just mix and send things, but with my own thing, I'm so like jacked up. I feel like Tommy Boy, Tommy like Wingy. But so I'm gonna run this down. A couple things that I've changed a little bit. Drums are a little bit different. They're not as loud. Kick's not as loud. And also, there was a couple of spots where it was just floor toms on some of the hits, and some of them had kicks under them, and I just put kicks under them. It just felt more thunderous. I didn't like it when it was just like this. I was trying to automate the bass, but a couple of those things, and just I cut a couple of spots where I hit the one on the bass with the kick. I don't know if you guys know, you record. Sometimes things just, for whatever reason, sound strange. They feel like flammy or clacky, even though like you look at it, it's fine. So I did a little fixing on that. And I turned down the heavy rhythms just a hair, and maybe took a little of the top end off. I mean, just a hair. But mostly worked on the drums. And here you go. So I'm going to run this down. Then we're going to go through. I also released a video. Jesus. I put up a video, the IR versus cab thing. But the IR tracks were all lower volume than the cab tracks. They weren't a lot lower, but they were lower enough to like give the cab an advantage. So I'm going to redo that, play that, and then we're going to also do this two guitars simultaneously. Video's going to be short. 15 minutes max, which that's short for me, because I'm going to just chop and go. So here we go. So we're going to do that too. Okay, so here we go. And also, I'm going to be uploading a folder in the next day or so into the comment or into the description of these mix videos with the tracks, zeroed, so you can import them into your DAW and have fun with it. Here we go. When 7 was 6. thought I heard something hang loose. That's weird. All of a sudden it just pops out loud right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce this out one more time. This is good though. This is really good. I mean, I like it. And you know what a big part of this too is like for guys or for girls and guys that do this for a living, like you're constantly trying to like make people happy, right? So they you know, they've got their ideas, and then you know, and you're trying to like, it's a fine line between like like, you know, imparting yourself on it and being attached, but then not being so attached that ultimately it's not your record. Right, you're not the artist. You're the engineer, the producer, the mixer, whatever. You're not the guy, and that's a hard pill for some people to swallow. It really isn't for me because I was an artist and musician and songwriter and guitar player long before I was like doing this stuff. So to me, it makes sense. But still, when you get into it, you get in the heat of the moment. So that's a part of what's fun with this is like. I can just do my thing, you know, and I've got some people that I counsel, but ultimately I'm not trying to like appease anybody, or I'm not trying to, you know, help, you know, fulfill somebody else's dream or destiny. Let me just make sure this bounced down good. Okay, good, done. All right, so hopefully I didn't lie about this being not a super long video. It's getting long, but check it out. This is going to be worth it. We're going to go back to the IRs because I uploaded this video that I took down because I messed it up. So basically this track is, this is my 800 and cab. And then this is 800 and IR. So basically what I did was I tracked the 800 here with the Les Paul straight in, no stomp boxes. And I did a DI, and then I took the DI and I reamped back into the same amp, but I went into the surreactive load, and now I've got IRs on it. So we're going to play it. So I'm going to start by playing. Here's the cab. So this is the amp with the cab. And now, in a perfect world, they should be pretty balanced. And one thing to keep in mind, and I'll just keep rolling with this, is that IRs are kind of mix ready. You know, they kind of do a bunch of sculpting or whatever. I don't know what they do, but they're kind of mix ready. So, but with the cab right here, this is just mics. Like there's no EQ, nothing, just straight. So here we go, and we're going to start with the Bogren IRs. And now the cab. And the Bogren. All right, let's switch a couple. Here's the Owen Hammer Eddie Van Halen cab. And here's the cab again. And here is the Owen Hammer Rectifier 412. I'm going to try bringing in a little bit of the Van Halen cab, this combo kind of like right here. So this is the Rectifier 412, here's the Owen Hammer. I mean, here's the Eddie Van Halen blended in. Put in a little bit of that Bogren too. Let's see. Kind of a nice combo. So that's the Bogren Gates of Hell, about 44%. The Eddie Van Halen Owen Hammer at 66, and then the Rectifier at 100. And here is the cab. And cab. So there you go. Not sure what you think. Now what we're going to try is something completely different. Well, I guess in its own way. We're going to record the 800 with the cab. These are the 3 mics from the cab. We'll come back up here like this. Those are the 3 mics blended with the cab. We're also going to run down a DI, which I'm not going to necessarily use. We'll just mute that. And then the Mesa now is going out the SIR, a reactive load. So this now should be not making any sound. Oh, because I got to turn it on. Hey, let's turn it on. Here's the Mesa now. Also make sure where we're at here. Oh yeah, we were still in the old samples for the recording, for the mixing. Amp sounds like with yeah, that's what an amp sounds like with no cabinet. Scary, huh? So here we go with the 800 through the cab. It's got 2 mics on Vintage 30, one on the greenback and one those stomp boxes, and then Mesa. So let's just try something. I'm gonna see if you can track the 2 amps like a stereo, not necessarily stereo, but like for heavies, have two like 2 amps per performance without doing a DI and reamping. So we'll mute out the Mesa so we don't listen to it. Here we go. Start with tick ticks because we'll need to phase. Okay, so now we'll kill the amps so we don't listen to this. Boom. Now, let's see what happens. But let's see how these line up. So they line up real accurate. That's crazy. Look at that. That's crazy accurate. Whoa, look at that. Look at the waveform because it's like so we'll do oh my god, that's just horrible. We'll go 24 samples, so we'll do see, look at me laughing. What am I looking for? Delay. No, I'm looking for something different. What is it? I can't even think of what it is. I'm having so much fun I can't think of what it is. It's time adjuster. So we'll put time adjuster here. We'll go back 24 samples. That looks like it probably is going to get it right in the zone. Let's take everybody out of record mode. Now we'll come here and let's just throw mix IR right there. Boom. So now we've got this on the Mesa. So here is the Marshall. Here is the Marshall. Okay, and here is the Mesa through the reactive load, the surreactive load box with the IR. Mesa. Now the question is, do they jive? Who thinks they're going to jive? I want to see a show of hands. Come on. Who thinks they're going to jive? Just both of them on 0. That's it. That jives. Normally, you know, if you're going more martially, I never like to have 2 amps at the same level. That can become problematic, like on one performance, like pad. That's it. Sample accurate. Now, if I get rid of time adjuster, let's hear what it sounds like. You hear the hollowness? Listen, listen. This is with no time adjuster. It's can. Sounds like it's coming out of a can. Time adjuster. Man, that is so huge. That is so huge, and probably what I would do here is take the Bogren out because that's got a little of that top end thing. Just go more Mesa. Yeah, that's better. That's better without the Bogren in there. I've got a little bit of the EVH, and I've got the Recto. Those own hammers are nice. Yeah, and I mean, at this point, you would shape it, and you could whatever you want to do with it. But there it is. Let's just hear for argument's sake if you pan them. So, I don't know if everybody's been following what's been going on here the last few months, but it's coming together. And honestly, there's been no way for me to learn these things that I've learned, because there are, where my head's at now and what I'm doing, there is no resource for this. You can't, there's no, it's just, this is its own thing. And I'm so glad that I toughed it out and stayed with it, because it's been months of learning and researching and sleepless nights and buying gear and selling gear and buying gear and selling gear and trading in and figuring out what I love. So this is great. So what do you think? Do you guys like, how do you feel about, the cab, straight cab versus the IR? We're going to wrap this up. We're going to wrap this up right now. Here's cab on the 800. And the IR. Let's take out the Bogren for now. Bogren's nice, maybe just a little bit less. And the cab. Looking over here, the levels look virtually identical. They're gonna some setups will sound louder or softer based on the frequencies, but I mean it's pretty even. Cab. And IR. And last but not least, the two of them simultaneously, one with a cab, one with an IR. Sample accurate, phase accurate, polarity accurate. The Mesa's got a little in it. I don't know. It's too loud. That's what it is, because I was doing cleans with it. Don't worry about it. But it works. So lots of cool stuff. I'm gonna end this video. Holy crikey! What do you guys think, man? You guys like the IRs? You like this idea? The new song. I fired up an old song. I don't know if I said this in the last video, but I fired up an old song that my band had started. We recorded it. Cool song. We recorded it in Raleigh, and then I moved away, and the band just it never came together. And I was like, well, maybe all that's left to do is vocals and mix. And I fired it up, and I don't know. I can't go back. It's a cool song though. I mean, it's cool, but I don't know, like lyrically and just. I don't know, somebody else wrote the main riff. I wrote the hook riff, but somebody else wrote the main riff, and I don't know, I just felt like I was trying to shoehorn myself into it. It was cool though. It's a great riff. Maybe better for somebody else. But I said, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. And I'm just going to start a new song tomorrow. And it's going to be one of these, it's going to be probably little instrumental. I may start putting vocals on it. Remember JoJo? Alpha Rock, where all this started a year and a half ago. Sounds little, that's real drums. That's the first one too. The mixing, my mixing has gotten a lot better, and my friend Nate has really been helping me. And you can hear it, it's everything's starting to I don't know, open up. It's now I'm having to pull back on things, because now everything I'm things are more extreme naturally, and now I'm pulling back on it. Like you can hear this is like more. It's cool. It's a different feel, but now where we're at here. This got dimension. So, let me know what you think. Peace! That's a lot of video.